What if you woke up tomorrow and every single debt in the entire world was suddenly gone? Your student loans vanished. That credit card balance you've been chipping away at for years, erased. Mortgages, car payments, medical bills, all wiped clean, as if they never existed. For a moment, it feels like a global miracle. A collective sigh of relief echoes across the planet. Families pop champagne, burn their mortgage statements in backyard bonfires. Social media explodes with pure joy. I'm finally free! It's the ultimate jubilee, a fresh start for every person, every company, every nation. But not so fast, because while this is every borrower's dream, it's also every lender's nightmare. And the lender isn't some shadowy figure in a boardroom. For every dollar of debt that just disappeared, someone else was expecting to be paid back. That lender is your bank. It's the pension fund your grandparents rely on for their retirement income. It's the insurance company that holds your life policy. It's even other governments. These institutions don't just hold debt, they are built on debt.
It's their primary asset, their source of income. So while the world is celebrating, the global financial system is having a full-blown catastrophic panic attack. At 8 a.m., the bond markets, where governments and corporations borrow money, simply cease to exist. Trillions of dollars in assets on bank balance sheets evaporate into thin air. Pension funds, which are heavily invested in those supposedly safe government bonds, are now worthless. Insurance companies become instantly insolvent, unable to pay out claims. Within hours, the entire global financial system freezes solid. ATMs go dark, bank transfers fail, the world's economic heartbeat flatlines. Now, imagine it's the following week. The initial euphoria has curdled into confusion and fear. You decide to go buy a house, finally free from your old debts. But the banks can't lend you a single dollar. Why? Because all the old loans, the ones that earned them interest and built their capital reserves, are gone. They have no income, no capital, no ability to extend new credit. So the housing market doesn't just slow down, it collapses entirely.
Nobody can buy, so nobody can sell. The same thing happens with car loans. Student loans for the next generation of kids going to college, they don't exist. And it gets worse. Businesses can't get loans to expand, to invest in new equipment, or even to make their next payroll. The modern economy doesn't run on piles of cash. It runs on the constant flow of credit. It's the lubricant for the entire machine. Without it, the gears grind to a halt. No credit means no payroll. No payroll means mass unemployment on a scale never seen before. Tens, then hundreds of millions of people lose their jobs. And with no income, consumer spending, the foundation of the economy, disappears. The grocery store shelves empty, not because there's no food, but because the supply chains, funded by credit, have broken down. And that's when society is forced to face the painful, paradoxical truth. Debt wasn't just a burden, it was also the fuel. The very system that created so much stress and anxiety was also the intricate network that powered our world, from building hospitals to funding scientific research, to putting food on our tables. The chains we all dreamed of breaking were also the gears that turned the world. And in the silent aftermath of our wish coming true, we'd be free from what we owe, but trapped in the stillness of a global economy that has died.
Imagine a world where governments just stop, not slowly, but overnight. Because governments, from small towns to global superpowers, run on debt. They borrow to build the roads you drive on, to fund the hospitals that care for you, to run schools, and to support the military. When that debt is suddenly erased, their ability to function evaporates instantly. Taxes would have to skyrocket to impossible levels. National budgets would completely collapse. The public services you rely on every single day, gone. Currencies would become unstable, almost worthless. Countries with massive debt, the ones that look the most powerful, might seem free for a fleeting moment, but they're the first to fall.
The United States, Japan, their entire systems are built on the ability to borrow. Without it, they're paralyzed. The great engine of modern civilization grinds to a halt. But after the initial terrifying chaos, a quiet settles, and humanity begins to rebuild from scratch. With the slate wiped clean, we face a unique, once-in-a-civilization opportunity, the Great Reset, a chance to redesign money itself. So what path do we take? Do we create a purely savings-based economy?
If you want something, you save for it. No loans, no credit. It would be slow, steady, and stable. Or does the state take over, issuing social credit tokens instead of allowing private borrowing? Maybe we go fully digital, a single global currency sent directly from central banks to citizens, with no banks in between. The social outcome is a coin toss. Does this new world create a new brutal era of inequality, where people who already own assets become untouchably wealthy and everyone else is left behind, unable to ever buy a home or start a business? Or does wiping the slate clean create a truly level playing field, a genuine new beginning for millions of people? The truth is, it could go either way. Now, let's fast forward 20 years. The world has stabilized, new rules are in place, and something surprising has happened. Debt is back, but this time it's more controlled, more deliberate. Why? Because humanity learned a lesson the hard way. We discovered that debt isn't just a trap, it's also a tool. Used irresponsibly, it absolutely destroys lives. But used wisely, it builds nations. It creates businesses, jobs, and fuels innovation. Think about the world around you. Debt built the interstate highway system. It funded the creation of the internet. It raised the skyscrapers in our cities and the airports that connect them. It built the hospitals that save our lives and the industries that employ us. A world with zero debt, we discovered, is a world with zero progress. So what would really happen if all global debt vanished? At first, it would feel like liberation, but it would quickly become clear that debt itself was never the enemy. Bad debt is. Unregulated debt is. Predatory debt is. But the fundamental concept of borrowing, of investing in a future that isn't here yet, is one of the pillars of civilization. A world without debt isn't a world without problems, it's a world without possibility. So that brings us to the real question. If you could redesign our entire financial system from the ground up, would you bring debt back? Or would you build something completely new?